Welcome to Bell Center here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We got a bit of an earlier game today. We were going to start this game at 7 o'clock, but due to a PHLL network broadcasting conflict, we are playing this game instead at 2 in the afternoon. It's the Montreal Royals against the Chicago Railers. No changes for Chicago. Matt Murray gets the start. For Montreal, Patrick Waugh has changed up his forward line again. Isaac Lundstrom moves back to the left side. Jesper Bratt is making his Royals debut at right wing. And with the trade of Mason Appleton, he went with Morgan Frost to play center until the guy they traded him for, Frank Nazar, arrives for their next game, which I believe it's on either Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. So we are all set. Railers, Royals. It's a big one for the Railers. If they win, they likely take the 4th seed back. They take it away from New York. If Montreal wins, they could be right back in the playoff conversation. I highly doubt they will, but a man can dream, right? The face-off goes to Montreal. Lundstrom has it along the far side. He'll send it across to Bratt. He'll fire on. Murray makes the save, and they stop the clock for some reason. Murray plays it out to Pinelli. He'll go to the middle. Norris. Back to Pinelli. He fires on. Soderblom makes the save. Sent across to Bratt. And they turned it over. Norris has it and fires, blocked by Frost. In the corner, trying to ring it around was Bratt. And then behind the net now is going to be Lundstrom. Lundstrom will play it there while they reset structurally. He'll play it out to Bratt, but it bounces right back into the corner. He plays it to Lundstrom. He'll leave it for his goalie, Soderblom. Soderblom will pass it out to Morgan Frost. Over to Lundstrom. He'll fire on. Good sliding save by Murray. Here's Norris. Hit the post. Blocked by Frost. And now a pass over. Cizikas, a save. Both teams with 2 shots on goal thus far. Frost fires a shot, denied. Norris drops back. Cizikas across. Norris grabs it. Pinelli. Now to Norris. He'll look and shoot. A save. Rebound Cizikas. A second save, and it wound up in the net on the bounce. See, the phone scoreboard has the logos on it now, but that doesn't really matter because you guys aren't looking at that. You're looking at the score bug that's at the top of the screen. Uni matchup, as you can tell, is boring. Montreal wearing purple, while Chicago is wearing white. Bratt across, Lundstrom. Back to Jesper Bratt. He fires, save. Got the rebound. A second save by Matt Murray. Bratt trying to make a good first impression here in Montreal. With their team sitting at 4-8, it's been a tough season through the first 12 games. If they got 8 left, you know, odds are they probably aren't going to make the playoffs. Their magic number is probably pretty high. Pinelli scores! The Railers take the lead on Francesco Pinelli's goal. It's a big one now here in the early stages of the hockey game. Francesco Pinelli has been riding a hot streak. He had a hat trick against Toronto. Not to mention he had 2 goals against New York. He had a hat trick against Toronto. And he had the game-tying goal against Minnesota. Go even farther back. He had 2 goals against Boston. Go even farther back than that. He had 2 goals in the home loss against Toronto. He's had a great streak as of late. We'll see if he can keep it going here in this game. After scoring his first, can he get another one maybe? Bratt will send it across to Lundstrom, a shot denied by Soderblom. They get the rebound. Bratt is also denied. Pass up the head to Frost. Frost will wrist it on. It's right to him. Here's Lundstrom, another save. So 4 shots on goal in that sequence for the Royals. They'll pass it out. It's a turnover. Frost drops it back. Bratt fires on. Another save by Matt Murray. Norris. Pinelli. Tried to dig it off the wall. He put it on the line. Royals win the puck. Bratt up ahead to Frost. It's on top of the net and knocked down by Murray. Cizikas to the middle. Norris makes a move and shoots, and a save by Soderblom. We never mentioned this. Arvid Soderblom playing against his former team, and a score! Isaac Lundstrom has tied the game. Sorry about that, everybody, but the SD card was full on this thing. I forgot to remove some clips from previous games, but luckily I've done that. things should be smooth sailing now. The officials went ahead. They decided to take the clock back to the time of the goal, which was 2:09 into the period, 2:51 left. And we will just go from there. So now we resume play. So as I was saying before we had all that chaos, Arvid Soderblom going up against his former team, the Railers, today. Bratt left it for Frost. Lundstrom will try again, another save. Bratt goes back into the corner. Now the puck winds up with Lundstrom. Pass up to Frost, missed the net. Norris, Pinelli, Cizikas fires on, a stop by Soderblom. Lundstrom goes back to Bratt. He fires off the bar. A close call for the Royals newcomer. I feel like this will be the game where we finally determine who won the trade. These two teams have not played since June 12th, where the Royals won a 3-1 game. It was a close one. And is that a warning? They're saying it's a warning against Montreal. They're saying no pass before that. There's a save. They'll touch up into the corner. The Royals have received an offensive restriction warning. They determined it was off of a line battle. Was not too happy with the call. He doesn't like the call, I think, because he thought there was a pass before that. So with 2:06 left in the first, Montreal is on a warning. They'll face it off on the near side. Railers win the draw. Cizikas to Norris, a shot, there's a save. And now across, Lundstrom denied. That looked like a shot where he would get a good one. Beautiful pass to Frost, and there's another save. Montreal with 15 shots here in the early going. They turn it over, Lundstrom back to Bratt, a save. He got the rebound, he'll fire again from distance, also denied by Murray, and Frost is blocked. Montreal is peppering Chicago with shots. They have 17 to Chicago's 9. So it's, Montreal's 4-8, but it's not for a lack of effort. Railers win the draw. Cizikas will play it to the middle. Norris, there's a save by Soderblom. He'll catch it and play it out beautifully to Frost and a save. They get the rebound, a second save. And I'll tell you what, Montreal is playing much looser because, the pressure is off. Here's Lundstrom. He'll fire on. There's another save by Matt Murray. They have 20 shots with 1:16 to go in the period. Here's Norris. He'll whiff twice, and he'll drop it back to Cizikas. And he'll take it behind the net. We got about a minute to go in the period. Chicago with just 11 shots, but they're tied with the Royals here. They'll play it out. Pinelli, there's a save by Arvid Soderblom. Lundstrom gives it back to Bratt, back to Lundstrom. He'll shoot, there's a save. They get the rebound, Bratt will go back for it. And he'll pass it up, it's a turnover. Send it across, Norris, Pinelli, back to Norris, shoots, there's another save. They get the rebound, Pinelli tried it, there's another save. They go to Cizikas, shot blocked. Railers win the puck back again. He'll go to the middle but turn it over. Lundstrom puts it on the line, Railers win the line battle. Cizikas across Pinelli. He'll play it up to Norris, there's a save. The rebound winds up on the line. It's won by the Royals. Lundstrom will leave it for his goalie Soderblom, looking for options. And they're all going to press. Interesting formation here. Frost plays it up to Bratt, a save. 7 seconds left. Look at this weird formation here. Drop back Pinelli. Fires and a save is made. They get the rebound. One more chance as Cizikas hit the post. Wow. So some action to end the period. We're tied at 1-1. Montreal leads the shots at 22-16. Very similar shot totals for a few games in a row. I don't like that. So anyways, we'll be back for the second period right after this. Keeping in mind the circumstances, with moving this game up from 7 o'clock to the afternoon on short notice, the trade deadline having just concluded, and everything, even with Montreal sitting well below 500, I'm impressed with today's turnout. 19,876. The first time the Royals have dipped below 20,000 this season. It sucks, but it is what it is. 94.8% of seats are filled still. So still an impressive turnout. They were still close to 20,000, but they dipped below by 124 seats. Face-off will happen here in the middle. Second period is underway. Across to Lundstrom, a shot. Murray denied him. He'll send it to Cizikas, now to Pinelli. Murray is out of the net, but he went back. Here is Norris. He'll fire on. That's a save. They go to the middle across. Lundstrom fires on. A save by Murray. Lundstrom will put it behind the net. Going back forward is Bratt. Montreal will reset structurally. And now we'll go. Bratt will leave it for his goalie, Soderblom. He will feed Frost. He fires on. What? Was that a save? He was totally sideways. And then that one hit the side of the net. Trying to give it to Frost, but it keeps bouncing right back to Bratt. Now Lundstrom fires on. Blocked shot. It went in the net. No goal. Near side draw here. Early in the second, we're still tied. Pinelli shoots, a save, got the rebound, that took a deflection. And they'll play it up to Frost, but it bounces right back behind the net. Frost will fire on, a save. And now Murray, looking at his options. He elects to go up the middle to Norris, who then gives it to Pinelli. Taps it across, Cizikas fires, another save. Puck wound up in the corner, Cizikas will go for it. And he'll give it to his goalie, Murray. Murray will take it behind the net. And he'll wait for Chicago to reset. Minute 15 into the period, we're still tied. Played up to Pinelli. He fires on. There's a save. Puck goes behind the net. Cizikas is there to get it. Cizikas plays it up to Norris. He'll fire on. That took a deflection. Puck sitting on the line. It's won by the Railers. Pinelli taps it to Murray nicely. Cizikas looks, fires, missed the net in tight. Not a whole lot of action. Montreal with 4 shots in the period so far. Chicago also with 4 shots. Royals win the draw, but they turn it right to Pinelli. Now Norris makes the move, fires, and a save. Arvid Soderblom's been solid so far. Lundstrom over to Bratt. Bratt will look. Murray made the save. Cizikas up to Norris beautifully, and another save by Soderblom. Frost will make a move, and he tapped it away, and the puck wound up out of bounds on the line battle. Near side draw between Cizikas and Bratt. Face off, 1 to Chicago. Norris gave it right, got it right back from Cizikas, puts it on. Soderblom made the save. And now there's another denial by Murray. Frost had the chance that time. And I'm going to tell you what, this is some pretty uninspired hockey. We've had some great games the last couple days, but this game seems like both teams don't really want to be here. Pinelli across to Cizikas. He'll look and shoot. A save is made. Lundstrom turns it over. Puck in the corner, Pinelli. Pinelli plays it up nicely to Norris. He'll fire, and another save. Rebound winds up in the corner. Cizikas will try and play it up to Norris, and he'll try to give it to his goalie. It bounced off of him, and it's a turnover. Lundstrom across. Bratt back to Frost. He'll look and shoot. Easy save. That was not a great shot at all. Here's Pinelli. Pinelli fires after a fake. Soderblom made the save. They'll try to go to the middle. Lundstrom, but it bounced right back to him. They'll try again and throw it away. Cizikas, Norris, back to Cizikas. He'll shoot. Another save by Soderblom. And now a pass over to Lundstrom. And it's a turnover. Cizikas across. Pinelli back to Norris. Pinelli shoots. Blocked. Not a whole lot happening right now. The guys are having trouble finding the back of the net. 1:54 for the period. Face off in the corner. Pass up to Norris. Now to Pinelli. Cizikas will grab it, and he'll shoot, save, rebound, another save. We're officially tied in shots on goal. There is a denial again. The goalies have not really had to make any difficult saves. Cizikas will shoot, another stop by Soderblom. The shots are officially even at 30-30. The Railers have 14 shots in the period. The Royals have 8. Here's Pinelli. He'll give it back to Norris. He'll fire on. There's another save. You got to try that snapshot that the Shamrocks were hitting a while ago. Pinelli's going to try it. Save. Rebound. Score! A backhand rebound finish from Cizikas. That might be one of the goals of the year. They got a juicy rebound off of Pinelli's snapshot, and Cizikas with a rare PHLL backhander. He somehow got enough lift on the puck to get it over Soderblom. And the Railers lead it 2-1 here in the late stages of the second period. A great shot from Cizikas. Now Lundstrom. We'll give it to Frost in the middle. He'll fire on. Easy save for Murray. Norris back to Pinelli. He'll snap one on. There's a save again. Soderblom will try and play it out, but it's a turnover. Pass across. Cizikas, another save. Sends it across. Bratt, good save by Murray. Railers will pass it around. Norris will look. He'll fake. Now shoot. He faked it a lot of times. Cizikas. Norris. He'll give it back to Cizikas. And he nearly put in his own net. Now Pinelli shot it. And a save. My goodness, Cizikas was inches from putting the puck right into his own net. That would have been one of the biggest bloopers of the year. He was just trying to give it back to his goalie. Murray missed him. Hit the post. That would have been hilarious. Railers win the draw. It comes across Cizikas. To the middle, Norris. Well, look, and he fires it straight out of bounds. Not even close. Royals will get the face-off in their own end. 2-1 in favor of Chicago. Royals get the draw. Lundstrom tried to send it to Bratt. Down to the middle, Frost. Frost snaps it, and Murray made the save. And behind the net, Cizikas has it. He'll carefully make sure he doesn't almost put it in his own net again. Cizikas, great pass to Norris. He'll shoot, another save. Puck wound up in the corner. 20 seconds left of the period. Gave it to his goalie, Murray. He tried to pass it up. It's a turnover. It's tapped to Frost. Back to Lundstrom. He has a goal in this game, but a save is made. Corralling it is Bratt. Still trying to corral it, and he threw it away. Railers appear to be playing for the last shot. Cizikas to Norris to Pinelli. He'll fire, stopped by Soderblom. Period is over. The Railers grab the lead on a beautiful backhand goal by Casey Cizikas. He hadn't scored in a while, I don't think. Well, he scored in the Toronto overtime game, but that's his first regulation goal in some time. So we're through 2-1 Railers. We'll be right back. So we are ready to start period number 3 from Bell Center. Now, I don't know about you, but I thought that second period was pretty uninspired. But you know what? That's okay. Not every game needs to be an instant classic. We've had a lot of those lately. And I don't think this is going to be an instant classic. Chicago was just in a couple of classics against Minnesota and Toronto. So it was about time that we didn't have one. Seems like both teams kind of just want to get out of here. We're 25 minutes down in this game. I think it's 24 actually. So the game's actually, taken pretty quick. 5 more minutes for Montreal to tie this one up. Lundstrom has it. He immediately fires and a save by Murray. Along this side, Norris gave it back to Cizikas. He'll fire. There's a save by Soderblom. Rebound for Norris. Another stop, and they're saying it went out of bounds. And I think that's the right call. I thought I heard it hit the scoreboard. Shots are 41-35 Railers. Face-off won by the Royals. After the line battle, Frost gave it back to Bratt. Another stop by Murray. Cizikas is there for it. Cizikas gave it up to Norris. Nicely. Norris along the line missed the net. And they're saying out of bounds in Montreal's side. Just 27 seconds into the third. Railers get the face-off. It's another turnover to Lundstrom. Lundstrom gave it right back to Pinelli. To Norris. Back to Pinelli. He fires, missed the net. Bratt will send it across, but it bounced off of Lundstrom. Frost. Lundstrom nearly turned it over again. Frost. Lundstrom now gave it back to Bratt. Bratt will shoot a save. Lundstrom has it. Frost, drop back, Lundstrom. Will look, and he fires it straight out of bounds. Right idea, wrong execution. Railers get the draw. Norris drop back. Cizikas fires on a save. Frost. Back to Lundstrom. Soderblom has it. Frost. Now Bratt shoots. Blocked. Lundstrom gets the rebound and again fires it straight out of bounds. They are not hitting the net at all right now. Minute 13 into the period. Shots are 42-37 Railers. Railers get the face off, barely. Norris shoots, save. Rebound hit the post. Pinelli was that close to making it 3-1 and pretty much effectively ending the game because Montreal is struggling to hit the net right now. They only had 12 shots in that second period. When they had 23 in the first, there's another stop from Norris by Soderblom. They'll pass it around. Lundstrom. Back to Frost. He fires. Stopped. Puck wound up on the line. It's won by the Railers. Here's Pinelli. Stopped. Got the rebound. He'll try again. That's like a bounce, but Soderblom plays it comfortably. Bratt. There's another save. Chicago's really taken over the momentum of this game, but Montreal is generating chances. 3:17 here in the third. Still 2-1. Bratt has it. He'll play it up, or at least try to play it up to Lundstrom. He'll now take it behind the net. He'll wait a second here. Just over 3 minutes to go. Montreal still trailing by 1. Soderblom to Bratt. He fires. Stop. Got the rebound. Passes it up, and it's on the line. Won by the Railers. A blown opportunity there. Pinelli up to Norris. Not sitting on the line. There's a save. Cizikas will fire on from long range. Another stop by Soderblom. Frost gave it to Bratt. He'll fire. There's another save. Lundstrom. Another stop by Matt Murray with 2:39 to go. I mean, this game doesn't feel at all like an instant classic. Montreal needs one to force overtime. But it might be somewhat difficult because their shots are going right at the goaltender. Bratt wins the faceoff. To the middle it goes to Frost. He'll make a move and fire another save, and it wound up out of bounds in the same corner. They'll face it off on the near side. 2:32 to go here in the third. Still a lot of time. Bratt across to Lundstrom. Lundstrom will look and shoot another save and another out of bounds, like always. Montreal is slowly creeping back into it in the shots. 48-44 Chicago are the shots. 2:25 for the period. Railers get the draw. Cizikas across Pinelli. Now Norris. Back to Pinelli. He'll look on. There's a save by Soderblom. Going behind the net is Cizikas. He's going to stand right next to the net and allow his team to reset structurally. And he'll hand it off perfectly to Matt Murray, who plays it up to Norris. Now Pinelli comes back to Norris. He'll fire. There's a save. Got the rebound. Blocked. That's their 50th shot of the game. Still 2:03 to go. Still a lot of time for the Royals. Frost. Back to Bratt. Save. In behind the net. He goes for it again. Plays it up quickly to Lundstrom. He whiffs, then takes the shot and hits the post. And they win the puck. The Railers win the puck, that is. We're under 2 minutes to go. Pinelli. Across to Cizikas. It goes in behind the net. They're going to kill time again. If you're Montreal, when do you pull the goalie? I do it with about a minute and 10 or so. Play it up, Pinelli. Pass it up to Norris. He'll shoot. Soderblom got a piece. Into the corner. Lundstrom has it. Minute and a half to go. Lundstrom sends it across. It bounces right back to him, though. He'll give it to the middle. Frost will snap a shot on and a save. Bratt got the rebound. He'll try, and it's another save. Minute 15 to go. And it's a turnover. Frost out of bounds. He missed the shot, not even close. And Patrick Waugh calls timeout with Montreal trailing 2-1. This game has honestly felt really uninspired. I know every game doesn't need to be an instant classic, but this third period has flown by. I believe my camera's been recording for about 6 minutes now. If you're Chicago, stay the course. You've been controlling the pace of the game. If you're Montreal, you got to get pucks to the net fast. Your extra skater for this game is likely going to be Jimmy Vesey. So they should have him on standby. As Frank Nazar is not available right now, and Mason Gertson coming back down to earth in the last game against Boston, Vesey is likely your only option. So Montreal calls a timeout. 1:11 left in the third. They win the draw, and they're going to pull the goaltender. They're doing it early. They get Vesey out there. Vesey nearly went offside. Now he'll shoot on a save, and it went out of bounds. They're lucky. And they're going to say it's out of bounds on this side of the ice. Are they going to send the goalie back out or no? This is the debate. Because if you put the goalie out there, you know, you're incentivizing Chicago to kill time if they win this face-off. It looks like Montreal is going to gamble. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I just had a brief interruption there, but the game must go on. It looks like Montreal is going to gamble and leave the goaltender Soderblom on the bench and leave Vesey out there on the left side. If I were Montreal, I'd move him over to the right. I mean, the one goal that Murray gave up came from the left side. So leave him there. This is a big gamble by Patrick Waugh, because normally on a face-off, a team will put the goalie back in. So they're going to leave him. Face-off, Royals got it. So they got the gamble right. Vesey will fire in a save. They keep it alive. Brad has it. He'll play it up to Frost. Back to Brad. He'll fire and a save is made. Railers get the puck. Played out to Pinelli. He'll fire and he missed the net. But they get it back. Played up to Norris. Hit the post on the empty net. Pinelli missed again. The Railers still have a chance. Or the Royals do. VC. Frost. Save again. Railers get the puck. Pinelli to Cizikas. Hit the crossbar. And they get blocked again. 20 seconds to go. Here's Bratt. He'll look. Another save. They have it back again. Lundstrom. VC. Back to Lundstrom. Blast. Missed the net completely. He'll try again and a save. Cizikas to Norris. He's blocked on the empty net chance. They have one more chance. And oh, it's on the line. That's the game. The Railers hold on to win. What were the Royals doing? You just got to shoot the puck. Frost probably didn't like where the puck was. And the Royals dropped to 4-9. The Railers are at 500 for the first time all season. What a heartbreaker for Montreal. They lose this one by a score of 2-1. It was an ugly game. But the Railers ultimately get the job done on the road. Chicago's point streak is now 4 games. They've won 3 out of their last 4. With all 3 wins coming on the road. It's a good one for them. Montreal had a chance there at the end. Chicago failed to hit the empty net, and they win it by a score of 2-1. So looking at the standings now, this will push the Railers ahead of the Empire, and I think the Shamrocks too, on points. So this puts them in 3rd place. And New York is out of a playoff spot right now after losing 6 in a row. Meanwhile, Montreal will stay in last, and really their playoff odds are dropping. They're dropping day after day. So unfortunately for them, it's another difficult loss. So thanks so much for watching. They had their chances, but they couldn't bury them. Bye-bye.